We're gonna react to the CrossFit Snatch Ladder from 2015, and we're gonna start right now. Okay, so this Snatch Ladder actually holds a special place in my heart because I'm gonna get to watch one of my very close friends, Kevin Simons, who happens to be one of the best weightlifting coaches in the country. I believe probably one of the best CrossFit coaches out there as well. And what we're gonna see is we're gonna go through this entire Snatch Ladder. So Kevin was actually at the CrossFit Games in 2015, and we're gonna get to see him, but a lot of the other beasts as well, go through a squat snatch. So CrossFit refers to this as a squat snatch, right? So a full snatch or just a snatch. I think it should just be called a snatch. A power snatch would be above 90 degrees. A snatch is in the hole. So they're gonna start at 190 pounds. They're gonna go to 200 pounds, 205, 210, 215, and they'll work up that ladder as they go through the actual workout. So let's start this. I'm extremely excited because Kevin is a total machine, and I know he was a little bit fatigued at this point, so I wanna pick on him a little. So it's essentially those 5 bars, boom, 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 boom. It's not like a true ladder that builds up. It's like a speed ladder. All right, here we go, snatch speed ladder. There's Kevin. And this was Kevin's first time in the games. So they have to get into that squat snatch. And this is where being able to execute technique as flawlessly as possible. Dude, these guys are probably so tired here. There's Kevin all the way on the right, hits that. A little slow over the bar there. Let's see what happens here. Kevin misses that last lift. Kevin walks backwards with it. Misses 215 again. Oh my gosh, he's gotta be heated. So I know personally, oh geez, I didn't realize he missed this 3 times. I know personally Kevin snatched, I wanna say like 290, 300 pounds maybe. He maybe has done a 137 snatch in a competition actually. So you can just take that and know that in 2015 with Kevin, he was that strong, you know, at that point, probably 130 kilo snatch in training. But when all the stuff that these guys are doing throughout the competition and throughout the games, like, it's brutal. You are worn down, you're beat up, you're fatigued. There's a lot of stress on them. So it is pretty tough. Okay, so now we're getting the next heat. And I think the other thing I wanted to bring up here is I really, really wish weightlifting would take a little bit of, you know, just learn a little bit from this. Because I'm watching going, all right, snatch speed ladder in qualification. That's a pretty cool idea. And maybe there's specific rounds that you get to. All right, so here we are. I was talking there and not paying attention. Ooh, a little miss on 210. And that's what's crazy is like, dude, these weights aren't huge for these guys, but because of the fatigue from prior events and prior, you know, competitions. And on top of that, this is a qualification, so it's getting them into that semifinals. Man. Okay, but what I think weightlifting can learn from with this stuff is, all right, they've got the speed ladder, and then you could have the big time ladder be that final competitive stage. Muhammad just destroyed that. And again, with these athletes too, it's like if they're more focused on technique and training, which a lot of them are, it makes it that much easier when they're under and inside of this really stressful situation to execute it. Even with that massive amount of fatigue that they do have, it does make it a little bit easier for them to handle that because their body's so ingrained to move a specific way. But dude, this is just brutal though. Okay, so heat 5 now. Heat 5 in the quarterfinal. We're getting through this. So it takes him about 25 seconds to get to 215 from 190. and they get through what, 5 lifts? They get through 5 lifts within 30 seconds. Okay, so that's pretty quick. Very, very short bursts. That's not bad. Ben Smith comes through. I think he was a CrossFit Games champion in 18. I think it was. Man, there's so many athletes in this too. Holy cow. Noah Olson still. That Frazier's in here. Okay, that's pretty cool seeing him in here. Frazier's a leader there. Okay, so Frazier got through pretty quickly there. Ooh. Frazier got through in 29.6. Okay, so that's like, at this point he hadn't won the games yet. Still Froning. Ooh. Okay, so now they're taking this to 220, 230, 235, 240, 245, so up to 110 kilos. Where we have to remember, again, they've had a lot of events prior to this. They had the qualification in the quarterfinals, so now they're even more fatigued, and they gotta come back, and they gotta go up 5 lifts, right? They did the first round in 30 seconds, the best guys. So now to get to the finals, likely gonna be 35, 40 seconds. So I wanna see the difference here between the 2 speed ladders, because now they're getting a little bit heavier. Technique will break down even more because they're more fatigued. These are the fittest guys in the entire world, so they've got a lot to deal with. And if you notice, they're a little bit more calm getting from bar to bar because they know that there's a lot more on the line and there's a lot more room for error because of the heavier weight and the greater fatigue. Man, they're doing a good job, dude. This is freaking crazy. These guys are crazy. Okay, so Neil Max gets through 42 seconds. Okay, so those quarterfinals were around 29 to 30 seconds. So we added 12 seconds because of the heavier weight going all the way up to 245 pounds. Second place, 56 seconds. Okay, so anywhere from 40 to 55 seconds is what we're probably going to be seeing from those top guys. Again, just think about the movements that they probably did before this. I don't have the exact schedule from 2015 in front of me, but I'm sure there was something extremely long and something probably around 15 to 20 minutes that was testing their endurance and their strength. And essentially, if you think about it as a weightlifter doing 5 reps in under a minute is challenging. But then having them do 5 reps of the snatch under a minute, you know, at 75, 80, 85% of their max, that's even harder. You can really see too, like their backs are starting to get fatigued, and that's where it's important too. If you have a short-limbed lifter or a long-leg lifter, what's going to go first? Their back or their hamstrings, their quads? You know, it really, really depends upon how that athlete's built. Okay, so a little quick that first one. That guy catches forward. They're going a little bit quicker here than the previous one, but. Okay, that's a good lift there. And so here we got 3 lifts left. Nice smooth movements. Another one. One more. So if they can go between 42 and 55 seconds. Okay, 41 seconds for your Ankar. Again, this is just 2 guys at 41 and 43 seconds, right? That's just, they get to go after the initial heat, so they know where they have to come in, they know how they have to execute, they know the positions they need to hold off the floor, they know where their fatigue is, what their tendencies are when they are fatigued. And I think that's another thing that you can learn from really good CrossFit coaches is like, you know your tendency as an athlete. And when you're training in this style of competition, you have to understand your tendency under fatigue so that then you can stimulate your brain to really think, all right, this is typically what I do when I'm under a large amount of stress. I tend to miss the bar forward, so I need to do X to fix missing the bar forward. And that's where these guys are just nutty. They're crazy. I can't imagine doing this. I mean, I can because I would throw up and vomit everywhere. But again, I'm thinking about this from a spectator perspective, and even for weightlifting, it's like, dude, why not do like little rounds of qualification with speed ladders, and then if you have specific weight classes, you can do speed ladders in a short period, and you roll through each weight class, and then you have these finals, and then it's like you run the finals like a wrestling tournament. Dude, that'd be awesome. That would be so awesome. Maybe we should do that. Before we continue to watch the greatest athletes in the world compete at the CrossFit Games, I'd like to talk about today's sponsor, and that's Epic Water Filters. Epic Water Filters use phenomenal water bottles and a carbon block water filter that removes 99% of contaminants from your water. So if you want superior hydration and performance, check out the link down below in the description. Head over to epicwaterfilters.com and you can pick up one of their products today. Again, thanks to today's sponsor, Epic Water Filters. Now, let's get back to that snatch speed ladder. Okay, so here's the third semifinal. Remember, we're at 41, 42, and 43 seconds for those top guys. They know what they need to hit. These guys look good. These guys are moving well. Dude, that guy got through in 36 seconds. Oh man, big miss backwards. And that's the thing too, your shoulders are destroyed by this point. Fatigue in the back, the shoulders, knees. And you can see as the heats are going on, this heat was drastically faster. There was two guys under 40, another guy at 43. Fourth guy was at 47. Remember that first heat, I think the second guy was at 56. Okay, so this is the last round of the semifinal qualification coming up. So this is the fourth event. Again, so there, you know, three events prior to this. Okay, here we go. Matt Fraser and Elijah Muhammad here. Muhammad is such an animal with his weightlifting movements. Good technique, not jumping all over the place. I think that's another important thing for weightlifters to watch is like, dude, these guys aren't jumping their feet like crazy because they know that it... Oh geez, so Ben Smith, Muhammad, and Fraser are all basically taking that last lift at the same time. Muhammad saves that one. Fraser, Smith, and Muhammad come through under 35 seconds. That's how good these guys are. Remember what, like, dude, these guys are so freaking strong and fast. 33 seconds for Ben Smith. Okay, let's see what they can do, if they can cap this out. Ooh. Fraser's in first. Gets that through before the cap at 2 minutes. Still posts the total. Top three guys, 35 seconds. Okay, so now we're getting into the final, the top 5 athletes. They're gonna go 250, 260, 265, 270, 275. That's 125 kilos they're finishing at. So they're basically going like 115 kilos to 125 kilos. 5 huge lifts, and they're gonna try and do it under a minute. I think that's the other intimidating part, is you're standing next to these guys and you can see in your peripheral what they're doing and how they're executing it and how you stack up with where they're at. And that's another thing, because that can really distract you. So it's like trying to be in the zone, to block everything out, put those blinders on and just put the head down. I think that's what's wild about the entire sport, is that you're so fatigued, there's so much pressure, there's so many things you have to prepare for. It's just this wide array of challenges constantly, and then the actual moment that you're competing is very distracting. That's why these guys are such studs. The men and women are just total, absolute freaks. Okay, let's see. Top 5. Packed house now. See, I don't know how much time they have from the final, from when they started to the final. Okay, so everybody hits that first one at 250. Everybody so far looks good on that 255. Frazier looks around, walks into 260, or is this 265? This is 265. Oh, Frazier with a miss. Muhammad stays calm. And the thing is too, is like, you know that as they get heavier, you're gonna take more time. So having a miss isn't horrible if you're able to come back and erase those misses later on. You know, Ben Smith takes the lead here. Frazier hits 2, so misses 270 there behind. Muhammad's still on that. Smith comes through with 275, misses a little bit. See, and this is where the technique, it's like, do you understand the technical movement enough so that it's as automatic as possible? John Parra comes through with the win. Dude, this is crazy. This is crazy. These guys were like, oh, I think he was a rookie this year. These guys had no fault. They did not think that. So he came through, John Parra came through at 112. Okay, so as they get heavier and heavier, they're adding, about 10 seconds. Uh-oh, Muhammad looks like he might be hurt. But so they're going, they're adding 10 seconds, then they're adding 15 to 20 seconds, and then as they get really heavy, they're adding, 30 seconds total. Okay, so Frazier hits that. Okay, so Frazier basically is guaranteed third or fourth. Gets it. And that's the thing too, is that you don't want to give up, because now you have those points. The third place points are huge. Man, look at John Parra, dude. He is huge. That dude's huge. Okay, so I think the big lessons from watching that snatch speed ladder is that, one, there's a lot of stress on these dudes. They're getting into the competition. They're on their fourth event. They're fatigued. Their shoulders are probably fatigued. Their back's probably destroyed. Their hamstrings are probably really sore. They're mentally drained. And then they've got to go in and they have to execute their technique as well as they possibly can. I think what we can learn in the weightlifting world is, one, the presentation's really fun. It's enjoyable to watch. But two, also the importance of technique and just having that ingrained and imprinted into their bodies so they execute as well as they possibly can. And they're able to really zero in and focus really, really well on just their movement, even while they still have to gauge what's going on around them. And that's a really, really challenging effort. So I love that snatch speed ladder. It's really, really fun. So if you need help with your training and you're in hybrid fitness, you're in CrossFit, you're trying to be a better athlete, stronger, more technical, we have a hybrid fitness program that you can click on the link down below, head over to garagestrength.com, and you can pick that up today to help you cultivate your power. Until next time, guys, peace.